ladies and gentlemen. Usually this is the part of the show where we, kind of have like a funny sketch, a little bit of quirk here, some comedy to begin with. But we're gonna take a different approach this time, a little bit more of a serious note. Um, we're gonna take this opportunity to send on behalf of myself and Trajan, our most heartfelt and sincerest condolences to the Denver Bronco fans.
Broncos country, let's cry.
Oh my God, we did it!
My dick is big, my dick is wide, my dick is huge.
That's right. Super Bowl, here we come.
So you're saying there's a chance?
We're ready to tear this baby up. Why? Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Trajan Temple Sportcast. I am your host, professional wrestler and Kansas City Chiefs fanatic, Christian Temple, joined alongside, as always, by my good friend, the terrible towel-twirling Trajan. And I would ask, how are you doing today? But honestly, there are no wrong answers because we are both doing so much better than Broncos fans right now. I think you'd probably agree with me on that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm number 2 in the AFC.
Right off the bat. Right off the bat with that,
Right off
too.
the
Yes.
bat.
Yes, if anyone cares to look at the standings, 3 weeks into the season. Uh, the Miami Dolphins, obviously the only undefeated team left in the AFC. The Steelers, number 2 because of tiebreaker, which would make the Chiefs, even though they have the same record as the Steelers, number 3 because the Chiefs have not played a division opponent right now. But honestly, if we played the Broncos right now, I think my odds would be very much in my favor here, but you never know. You never know. It's any given Sunday, right? But it was not their Sunday this past Sunday, was it?
It was not. It was not. And it was also not certain other teams that I'm sure you're going to love to highlight.
Oh, absolutely. We'll get to those other unfortunate souls here too, but it was a very good week for both of our teams. I was very happy with the performance of my team, and as you can see right here by the final score, you can probably see why. Kansas City Chiefs take care of business at home against the Chicago Bears with a final score of 41-0. Yes, I said 41-0 because basically when the Chiefs took the starters out, that's what the score was at the time. The 10 points were very much in garbage time. Blaine Gabbert comes in, and first start in the red and gold for Kansas City. Kind of got big shoes to fill there too. First time in the exciting atmosphere of Arrowhead. I'm sure the emotions were welling up in him, getting a chance to prove himself, and he made some good throws in there too. But at the end of the day, Mahomes came in, took care of business, did his job. Yeah, all he had to do was just run out the clock. That was all Gabbert had to do, right?
Yeah, he made some good throws to the other team. And yeah, did great.
Absolutely. No, in all seriousness, though, it's any given Sunday, you go into this game and you hope they just go in and just don't let the other team make it too competitive. You obviously want to go out there and make a statement. And after the offensive struggles last week against Jacksonville, this was a game that definitely felt like it should be a get-right game. And, Mahomes looked great. The offensive line looked great. The defense looked phenomenal again. It's crazy to think the defense has only allowed 2 touchdowns in the in 3 weeks. It's amazing to me. Oh no, excuse me, 3 touchdowns. Yeah, 3 touchdowns in or was it 2? It's 2 or 3. It's something like that. They're like number 4. They're like number 4 in scoring defense right now. So.
Who have you played?
Let me have this. Usually our defense is terrible these first few weeks. let me have this. Darn it. You don't see me going up on your quarterback right now, even though he's not doing his best right now.
Hey.
We all know. We know it's Canada's fault. It's Canada's fault.
Canada's fault. Out of his control.
Oh, I see. But no, this was a game that you could feel good about winning. A team like this And I say you feel good about winning this because there were teams like the Dallas Cowboys that it should have been a similar result for their game, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Obviously, the Chicago Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals, rather. Hey, look, they used to be the Chicago Cardinals, okay? They used to be. Before I was born, but still, they used to be. They fell to the Arizona Cardinals, who seemed like they don't want to be associated with the tanking team that everyone said they were for the last couple weeks, especially against the Giants too. But yes, great win at home. Next week on to MetLife Stadium against the New York Jets. We'll preview that here in just a moment. But I'll let you have the floor now for your guys' game on Sunday night prime time.
Yeah, I will just start with how it ended. With us first place in the AFC North. Where we should be. But this game started out like mini games. 3 and outs. Once again, the defense was still the show. 4 sacks, 2 of which were by TJ Watt, who is on pace for 34 sacks this year. So hopefully he stays healthy, and I would love for him to get that. And somehow he'll miss out on MVP or Defensive Player of the Year to like Myles Garrett or something like that. But
how bad would that sting? That would just
his pressure rate, man. His pressure rate is just amazing. Every other column is terrible, but his pressure rate. But 3 interceptions. 2 of them, I have to apologize to Levi Wallace because Devontae Adams was slicing us up, and he was the one covering him. And I may have called him trash at one point to my brother, but he got 2 interceptions, so he is all forgiven. And one of them by Patrick Peterson. But we go to the offense. So as I alluded to, started out with 3 and outs, and it looked like we were going to do the same thing again. I believe it was like 3 and 7. All of a sudden, they throw the deep pass to Calvin Austin. 72-yard touchdown. I was like, okay, maybe we are redeemable. Next series, we do get a touchdown by Freiermuth. We went on a little bender there. We got several scores, so several field goals after that. It looked like we were going to put this away. I hate that we let them back in, though, and that is my biggest beef. Putting it on the defense. We went way too conservative, and I think that would have been a good moment to say, hey, we have faith in our offense. Let's see what Kenny Pickett can do with our wide receivers. I mean, we still have some good guys. Not Devontae Adams.
Oh, boy, if only, right? If only.
If only. We still wouldn't throw it to him either.
No, you throw it to him once, and then Matt Canada will be like, all right, don't throw to that guy ever again.
Yep. So, Pat Freiermuth entered the conversation. So he got a touchdown, 4 targets, 3 receptions, 41 yards. Calvin Austin, 2 receptions, 72 yards. So that other one didn't really matter. George Pickens, 6 targets, 4 receptions, 75 yards. So a pretty big night for him as well. We passed 300 yards rushing and passing together. Something we haven't done for a while. So overall, I'm happy. We're 2-1, 2nd place in the AFC, 1st place in the North. Just stack wins.
There you go. And I'm really confused. It says here that they played in Vegas, but I could have swore it was all Steelers fans out there. I mean,
yeah, we started out with 3 home games this year. It was great. It was excellent. That's why they gave him the Raiders a bogus roughing the passer helmet to helmet call.
Yeah.
But
can't get them all. Can't get them all. I think you also owe a special shout out to one Josh McDaniels for not knowing how math works or how scoring a touchdown at a 2-point conversion works in football. Because okay, so the scenario here: you got a field goal that is disallowed, or they get the field goal and they decline it. They take the points off the board because of leverage, which looking at the replay, I'm not sure who leveraged who or what or where or what position and all that. But you take the points off the board, you're driving down again, and you settle for another field goal again, and now you have less time for your defense to get a stop. It boggles my mind at the decisions that McDaniel made there. I have no words for it. I really can't think of an explanation for it.
Yeah, no, I really thought that they were just joking on it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, wait, they are actually going for this? No, I mean, I'm thankful to him. I think ultimately with our defense, how they were playing and the pressure that they were getting to him, we would ultimately win. But he made a questionable call, and it cost him.
Absolutely. And I do have to thank you as well, too, because the Raiders were getting a little too big for their britches there, saying that they were atop the AFC West. So thank you for assisting us in knocking them back down to their proper place below the boot of the Kansas City Chiefs. We do appreciate that. And I understand that the Steelers plane had to make a emergency landing in KC, so obviously the care package must have been passed along to the staff while in KC. So partners in crime, right? Exactly.
Yep.
No, there you have it. Our two games this week. Obviously, we're both two very happy campers, and as we alluded to in our intro this week, holy smokes! Words escape me. What happened at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida? It was a crime against humanity. I mean, there's got to be like a Geneva Convention rule against the absolute destruction, devastation that happened to the Denver Broncos on Sunday.
You know what it was? It was justice. And I will tell you why it's justice. Mike McDaniels doesn't even get a call from his childhood team for a head coaching position.
That's right.
Sean Payton says that Tua is going to be out of the league in a year. Last year. Says he's not good. And they just come in and steamroll him.
He found out real quickly how good he is, or at least how good that offense is under McDaniel. That was
he effed around and he found out.
The good McDaniel. We should take away Josh McDaniel's last name because he doesn't even deserve the name McDaniel now. Mike McDaniel's the way to go now. So, but no, you're right. Sean Payton had to eat a lot of crow in this game, and you could tell it was still caught in his throat during that post game press conference he had afterwards too. Just 70-20, unbelievable, like devastating. Just awful performance by the Broncos defense. And that's the deal. You can't even place the blame on Russell Wilson. And usually you can. Usually you do place some of the blame on Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson just had no one to throw to. The Miami defense they weren't spectacular, but they did enough to keep him, out of the end zone for most of the game. But for years and years and years, what was the one thing we always talked about Denver? Their defense, right?
Yep.
Their defense would always keep them in games. Now, whether their offense actually did anything for them, that was yet to be determined. But
that's why I have their defense in my fantasy.
Yeah, well, yeah, that didn't. Do you want to disclose how that turned out for you, or should we just leave that off to the side?
Not well. Use your imagination.
Fair enough. So, but I was talking to a buddy of mine earlier today too, and obviously there's in our area there's a game on Fox and there's a game on CBS. I couldn't take my eyes off this game, even as a bit of a blowout this was. Usually you just flip over to the other game and it's probably something more competitive. I couldn't take my eyes off this game because it's just like, if you blink, they're scoring. The Dolphins are scoring another touchdown. And that's all it was. It was all touchdowns. There were no field goals by the Dolphins in this game.
10 touchdowns.
10 touchdowns. I'm totally,
5 rushing, 5 throwing.
I'm totally going to botch his name. Is it a Kane or a Chain or
Yeah, A-Chain.
A-Chain, there you go. I think that's what he said he wanted to be called now, is A-Chain.
Yeah.
I know it's different types of scoring in different fantasy leagues, but in our league, in our point system, he had 51 fantasy points.
He's on my team now.
And that's the highest I have ever seen. I mean, I've seen some 40s. We've seen plenty of 40 points, but that's the first time I've ever seen anyone break 50 in the time that we've been in our league together.
I've never seen it before.
It was absolutely incredible. But yes, shout out to the Miami Dolphins. Congratulations on being the last undefeated AFC team. And boy, they've got their work cut out for them next week, don't they?
Yeah, they got the Bills, but I want to skip ahead a few games. How scared are you to face them? 'Cause we don't face them. You guys do.
See, and I don't want to jinx them because I actually want to see this matchup. I have the same feeling about this game that I did before the season for Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers. I have the same feeling about this game that I had for that game, and that feeling quickly went away after a certain injury to someone. And like I said, I don't want to wish it upon Tua because obviously he's had injury issues the past couple of years. I don't want that for him either. So, my desk is wooden. I'm knocking on wood. I don't want that to happen to Tua. I want it to be 2 fully healthy teams going to Germany, slugging it out, and may the better team win because it's going to be a fun game. Win, lose, or draw. Hopefully not a draw because that'd be boring, but that would be a lot of fun to see how that one ends.
Oh man, it will be fun. But so we had that blowout, but we also had an unexpected loss.
Which one? You could probably name about 5 on here.
Yeah, by certain America's team. By America's team, I mean no one put him as America's team except Cowboys fans. Oh my goodness, they faced the Arizona Cardinals. I thought they were going to wipe the floor with them. Josh Dobbs is the quarterback. It's not even Kyler Murray. And a draftee from the Pittsburgh Steelers, by the way.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Goes in and they get the lead and never look back. 28-16. Dak Prescott being Dak Prescott, 1 for 1. 1 touchdown, 1 for an interception, 25 of 40 attempts. The rushing attack, they had 122 yards rushing from Tony Pollard. So usually you would think that would be success for him, but the Arizona Cardinals chewed them up on rushing. 222 yards on the ground and another 189 through the air. But somehow, Micah Parsons is a better defensive player than TJ Watt. I don't know.
Had to get that last little dig in there, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
So that was one of the games that like you see the game break and you'd be like, oh, okay, here's where the Cowboys scored, and it'd always be like a Cardinals highlight or something like that.
Yeah.
Because you just knew, like it's like okay, the Cardinals are ahead, but any minute now, the big defensive splash play, something's gonna flip on its head. Cowboys take the lead and they run off with it. You just knew that moment was gonna happen because it's the Cardinals. They're actively tanking. The Cowboys got a great defense. Their offense kind of but with that defense, you don't really need a great of an offense, and it never came. That moment never came. So before you knew it, at the 3-minute mark in the fourth quarter, Arizona picks it off in the end zone and seals the game.
It's over.
And you're just looking around like, what happened? what happened? What went wrong? I mean, everything went wrong for Dallas apparently, but just
what went right for America?
Oh,
that's everything.
Much better question. Much better question there too. Speaking of what went wrong with Tennessee?
Tennessee, They found out who they truly are, and that is a mediocre team.
Ah, well, I thought they were the Super Bowl contenders that DeAndre Hopkins wanted them to be.
That is a fair point. Maybe they're Super Bowl contenders in the near distant future.
Near distant future. Maybe distant future. We shall see. Yeah, Cleveland. Talk about a bounce back game. That very good performance from them, even without without
Even
Nick
Deshaun.
Chubb. Without Nick Chubb. So yeah, hats off to them. They're staying competitive in the AFC North. The probably one of the even bigger surprise than that was probably the Indianapolis Colts upsetting the Baltimore Ravens in overtime. Justin Tucker is maybe human after all, misses a game-winning field goal. Although
Sure.
61 yards in terrible weather. Although that one Missouri kicker, he didn't really have that excuse. He made his kick at 61 yards in bad weather. Just saying, Justin. Uh, but no, how about that? The Indianapolis Colts with the backup quarterback that Orlovsky'd himself and stepped out of the back of the end zone for a safety. He actually led his team to a win, even despite that. That's another funny moment there. Patriots.
But he took it like a man. He stepped back and then he went forward trying to get out and got sacked. He got pulverized on that play.
He didn't run out of the back like a coward. Patriots keep the streak up against the Jets.
The game I wanted to talk about.
I was gonna say, you know what? We might actually be bringing up the same one. The Minnesota Vikings find a way to out-charger the Chargers. I had a feeling that's what I'll let you start on this one.
Well, I highlighted it last week. I said this is the game I'm interested in seeing. Who's gonna blow it? Who is gonna do it? And both of them, prime examples of wanting to blow it.
Both of them tried so hard.
They tried so hard. The offense, listen to the stat. Justin Herbert was 40 of 47, 405 yards and 3 touchdowns. How do you lose? Almost lose in this game.
Yeah. Oh my God, if they would have lost.
Kirk Cousins was 32 for 50, 367, 3 touchdowns. He did have 1 interception, but that still almost didn't cost him it almost didn't cost him the game.
I feel like the football gods threw the Chargers a bone only because Mike Williams is done for the year.
Yes, that is sad. 7 reception, 121 yards, and then ACL
and
out
your
for the
season's
year.
done. And just like that, your season's done.
It's rough.
So, but yeah, let's talk about those last couple minutes there, because there was absolutely no reason. I mean, we gave crap to McDaniels just a little bit ago. There was no reason at your own, what was it, the 25 or 30? Actually, it was probably closer to like 20 or 25.
Like
yeah, there was no reason to go for that. I mean, you're up. I might give them the benefit of the doubt if they were up by 3.
Yeah,
but that might be even worse actually. So maybe not. Maybe whether they needed a touchdown or a field goal, there really shouldn't have been an excuse. Punt the ball away and make them work for it. But oh my gosh. And believe me, I'll get to the Vikings ineptitude here in just a second, but just your job is kind of up in the air right now. Why the boneheaded decisions that got you in that era of scrutiny to begin with? I mean, why are you doubling down on ineptitude like this? I just can't get it. This is
the crazy thing. Have you looked at the win probability on ESPN?
I have not.
I've never seen it go so much like this.
It looked like an EKG, didn't it?
It did. And this is crazy. 475 yards both for the team.
Oh my gosh.
Total. They're just mirrors of each other, and one of them had to win.
Yeah, exactly. They're both losers in our heart. All right, so now we go to the Vikings side of things. The defense gets probably the biggest stop of the game, right? Mm-hmm. And you've got prime field position. You got plenty of time. I think they had one timeout left that they burned pretty quickly there too. They get the ball to about the 5-yard line, and what do they don't run up and clock it and give themselves more chances at the end zone. The clock keeps moving and keeps moving. And I don't know if it was a quote in a press conference, but I heard somewhere that Kirk Cousins said he had a hard time hearing the play because of the noise, which just makes it even stupider that you wouldn't go up and spike it. That way you get the crowd energy out of the way, and then you could go talk it over with the coach for a minute.
Yeah,
let the noise die down, and then...
I mean, Chargers aren't a traveling fan base. They don't have a fan base.
Shout out to your brother, right?
Yeah.
I just, oh my god, when I watched the last 2 minutes of that game, it's just, I've got the football IQ of probably a fifth grader, but still, it's freaking insanity. The decision making for O'Connell and Staley going into that, even though maybe O'Connell was telling Kurt go up and clock it. Maybe he was screaming at the top of his lungs to clock it, and Kirk was just ignoring him. I don't know, but both teams deserve to lose in the end. The Vikings are reaping what they sow from last year's luck of one-score games going in their favor. Right now, all three of them have gone against them, and call it poetic justice, call it karma, call it what you will. Neither team deserved to win this game. That's just reality.
Could have ended in a tie, let's be honest.
Exactly. A tie that should have been just put in the L column anyway.
Oh, and then let's do what? One more? Talk about one more game?
I'm thinking Saints-Packers, because there's a bit of a story behind that one, too.
There is. You know, they're blowing out Green Bay. Blowing them out. Well, not blowing them. 17-0.
Yeah.
I mean, you're expected to win at that point. But someone got injured.
Man,
I'll let you take away the next part.
I've never, I'm a Chiefs fan, so obviously, by proxy, you come out of the womb, you hate the Raiders. But I've never really hated Derek Carr. I've never wished anything bad for Derek Carr. I may joke at his expense and all that too, but it sucked seeing him get hurt when things were going well, because then you just felt it. You just felt the momentum turn on its head in the Packers, especially when famous Jameis came into the game, and oh my god, do we now realize why it's a terrible idea to have him as a starting quarterback for any team. And the fact that why did Dennis Allen go away from the run too? I don't know. At that point, you're protecting the lead, and I get on the flip side, it's like go for the jugular and everything too. But you're on the road though. It's not like you're at home and you've got the momentum still on your side. When you're on the road and something like that happens, the momentum flips pretty quickly. So you got to play as much. You got to play as much damage control as you possibly can. And hey, hats off to Jordan Love. This was his statement win as the new face of the Green Bay Packers. Saints defense isn't a joke, It's not the best, but it's far from the worst. And he found a way to drive down the field multiple times. Although, it was kind of iffy there because the Saints technically had a chance to steal it back at the end, and unfortunately the rookie kicker missed it wide to the right. So, but hey, give Jordan Love his flowers. He got the win in front of the home faithful, so hopefully he earned a lot more fans and a lot more believers in Packer Nation.
I don't know if that performance earns a lot more fans of it. To be honest,
it may be still too early.
It's way too early.
I'd say he gained. I'd say he gained a fair percentage.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'd say he got a percentage of them on his side. Obviously, yes, there's going to be those fans that were spoiled by the Favres and the Rodgers of their time. So it's probably going to take some more time for them to warm up. But a comeback victory like that, you can't hate that if you're a true fan, right?
That's true. That is very true.
Oh, actually, we got to do one more. We got to do one more. We got to do the Texans and Jaguars, and the only reason is because you had a very snide comment about that result to me.
I would never do a snide comment.
Do you remember what it was?
Yeah. maybe the Jaguars aren't that good. I sure would hate to be the team that struggled against them.
There it was. There it was. I was gonna say
Yeah.
it went more along the lines as like, boy, it would suck to be a team that struggled against that defense, right? Um,
Oh,
we mentioned the last game was kind of Jordan Love's, maybe not his coming out party, but kind of his I'm here, I'm the face now of this franchise. It was kind of the same for C.J. Stroud this week, I'd say.
yeah. I mean, 280 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, no interception, clean game. Found his new target in Tank Dell, which is a great name, for 145 yards receiving. I mean, as much as Houston won, it's more Jacksonville lost. They did everything in their power to do it. Trevor Lawrence, he went back to throwing an interception in a very bad moment. Another fumble lost there, and they just gave up another. What was it? It was a punt return or was it a kick return?
Oh,
A fullback.
it was a kick return, and you're right, it was by a fullback. So that was a big highlight of the Sunday game. Too bad it'll be overshadowed by the fact that a team scored 70 points this week.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of that, and it was almost like a love story. Baby, just say yes.
There
Yeah.
it is, right there.
Don't think I was gonna get out of bringing up Taylor Swift.
Hey, you know what? If the Chiefs defeat their opponents like they did the Bears every week, I'd say invite Taylor Swift to every single Chiefs game from here on out.
He will be at the Jets game, supposedly.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I don't know if that's been made official yet, but I would not be surprised. So, I'm sure the cameras will be scanning the press boxes or the stands, looking for her. So, I won't say a doubt about that. And another reason I guess they brought up the Jaguars, the Texans last is because you will be facing the Texans this week.
We will. So this one, I mean, I was very confident at the beginning of the year. Obviously, I don't know. We'll see. C.J. Stroud looks like he is the real deal. I mean, he's been putting up points in every single game. I do like our chances with our pass rush against a rookie quarterback. Um, I mean, I think we have a good opportunity to go 3-1. We have a very good opportunity to get it to 4-1 into our bye week, and that would just be great.
There you go.
So keep up the momentum. Who do you guys got this week?
Well, I was going to make on one more note for the Steelers Texans, and you brought up a good point. Your rookie quarterback, yeah, you've got to bring the pressure on him because for two reasons: one, make him uncomfortable, make him get rid of the ball a lot sooner, and two, that offensive line for Houston, that's kind of ripe for the picking right now for your guys' pass rush. So yes, I do anticipate, even though they have Pittsburgh listed as only 3-point favorites, I anticipate this will probably be I'd say a 31 to
You are giving us 31 points?
31.
I'm not even giving us 31 points.
Well, to be fair, 17 of those points will come from your defense and special teams.
Okay.
I'd say it'd be a 31-21 kind of deal. Actually,
Yeah,
you know what?
you know?
I'll walk that back. I'll say 24-10. I'd say a 24-10 kind of win for you guys. Two scores. Defense gets a score in there too, and they hold C.J. Stroud to a pedestrian amount of passing yards.
That sounds about right.
There you go. All right.
I will say, T.J. Watt will be up to 10 sacks by the end of this game.
There we go. You heard it here first, guys, folks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you were bringing up to my game, and I appreciate that, and I will take it from there. Yes, the Week 4 Sunday night primetime matchup between Patrick Mahomes and Zach Wilson, the one we've been waiting for all offseason. Man, it really sucks. We are never. I was afraid it was going to happen, and it did. We've had 3 opportunities at Mahomes versus Rodgers, and technically, theoretically, we could have had more chances for that. But
this could be the end.
But this could have been the last one, very much so. But still, Sunday night football, Chiefs-Jets at MetLife Stadium, Pat Mahomes versus Zach Wilson. The Jets defense obviously still, for the most part, the defense that we come to expect. The Chiefs defense will have not really a true test, but another chance to keep their dominating performances up against a quarterback that's been kind of struggling recently. So we shall see how that game turns out, and I'll be excited to have some friends over to watch some more prime time football this coming week. So, but I'm also go ahead. Oh, I was gonna bring up next week is gonna be a very exciting episode because it is the return of our progress report tier maker. Ooh. So last chance for you teams out there that are struggling to get in our good graces before we list you as trash again.
All right, so I will say this: your defense loses to Zach Wilson this week. I will not want to hear a single thing about your defense this year. No matter how good they do, you still lost to Zach Wilson.
Even if Chris Jones goes out and wins Defensive Player of the Year,
that ain't happening. He's never earned the contract he says he's worth.
He said that on his Twitter though, or his X or whatever it's called now. I still call it Twitter, even though I've never had one.
I don't know. Yeah, he said he's going to be MVP.
He said he was going to be Defensive Player of the Year this year, which would be quite the feat. Quite the feat, considering he sat out the first game.
Okay, sure.
And I can tell you're quite the believer about that. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, let us know down in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win Defensive Player of the Year? Will it be Chris Jones? Will it be T.J. Watt? Will it be Myles Garrett? Will it be Micah Parsons? I don't know. Throw an answer out there. Who will it be? We obviously know it won't be Trayvon Diggs, unfortunately. So, but our best wishes to him too. That's a sad way to go out of your season. So hopefully gets well quickly and is able to come back stronger than ever for next season too. So, but on that note, that is our show this week. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all of your friends, and we will see you next week for the Progress Report. This is Temple and Trajan signing off.